Hi, it's John Templeton for thetubestore.com, and today we're going to use this signal generator to examine what happens when you change different preamp tubes in a very standard amplifier. There's additional information on preamp tube gain at www.thetubestore.com. Please check it out. Today we're just going to go into one of my favorite amps, the Fender Deluxe Reverb. It's very common, very popular, just a great all-around amp. And we're using the normal channel today because the vibrato channel has the reverb circuitry and the tremolo, and I wanted to just use something as plain as possible, a nice clean signal path, and this is it. What we're going to do, we're going to turn this Deluxe Reverb up to 3 for maximum clean volume, and we're going to leave it set there as we substitute different preamp tubes with decreasing gain. And all that's going to be examined by measuring across this resistor and looking at this oscilloscope and this digital multimeter. What we're going to be doing is measuring AC voltage across an 8 ohm load and looking at what that appears to be on the oscilloscope. And I think you'll find it pretty interesting as we get into it. The first thing we're going to do is set up a reference standard, the one that's at the top of the gain chain, if you will. This is the amplifier producing a signal using a 12AX7. In this case, a Tube Store Preferred Series 7025. And you can see that it's putting out 13.5 volts AC across our 8 ohm load, and that waveform is just showing us basically at our maximum clean headroom when we're just starting to get some compression and soft clipping started. So the amp is set on 3, and this is going to be our standard for the rest of the demonstration. We're not going to change anything. Here comes the first one. We've put a 5751 by JJ in the amp now, and I'm going to turn on the power, and we're going to see the waveform and how much output. Well, there it is. In this case, it looks like we're getting about 13.1 volts AC across our 8 ohm load. And in this case, just a little bit less compression, maybe a little bit less clipping, and we're putting out 21.45 watts. Now we'll look at a 12AT7. Quite a difference here. With the 12AT7 installed, we're getting 7.42 volts across our load, which equates to 6.84 watts of power on the output stage across our 8 ohm load. That's quite a significant drop from anything we've looked at, certainly from the 7025 and even the 5751. If I wanted to be up where I was before with the 7025, I would now have to turn the volume control on the amp up to 4.5. So we now have to go from a setting of 3 to a setting of 4.5 in order to get the same amount of output, and that's just from changing our preamp tube. Quite a difference. As we continue our review of preamp tubes, we come to the 12AY7. In this particular case, we're looking at an Electro-Harmonix 6072A. And the 12AY7 is the tube, the preamp for tweed tone. It's a big part of the Fender tweed sound, and you can see much lower gain this time around, 5.31 volts across our load, which is 3.5 watts. So we've gone from looking at a gain factor of 60 with the 12AT7 to a gain factor of 45 in the 12AY7, but the power is only half with the 12AY7. So you can see it really isn't linear. You have to judge the tube and hope you know what it looks like and sounds like. Okay, now let's look at a 12AU7, the lowest gain of all with a mu of only 19, and it gives us 1.36 volts, which is 1.85 watts. the lowest output you're going to find. So we've taken our amplifier output, starting from 22 watts down to less than 2. An incredible reduction in power and a big change in tone. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you experiment with some tube changes, and please feel free to join us at www.thetubestore.com for more information.